All right. I'll start off. First off, really proud of the way the guys fought yesterday. I told the guys in the locker room after the game, I'll never question their effort. I thought those guys played hard. We want it to be that type of game going into it. But at the end of the day, we have to find a way to finish those games. These one-score games in this league, it comes down to that, and we got to find a way to finish and get ready to go for this week for another opportunity against San Francisco. Being back home should be great.
Steven, go ahead.
Hey Shane, I don't think we asked you just like for the record about next week. I mean, Philip is the starter next week. Is that how
Yeah,
we should proceed? Okay.
yeah, Philip be the
Um,
starting quarterback. Yep.
okay. And then along those lines, I think there are. I'm not asking for me. I'm just asking just generally for the public. Like, I think there are people that will watch him play. He's obviously physically limited because he has been away, and wonder, okay, well, why is that better than an alternative? For you, it's less about, I think, less about the physical and more about the other attributes he brings. I mean, how did you calculate all of that after watching the film and so forth?
Yeah, I think obviously him being off for that long, obviously there was some unknown, but for him to go out there and do what he did to put us in a position to win in a hostile environment after that long of a layoff was pretty impressive. Getting us into the right plays, managing the game. I thought he was phenomenal in that regard on the sidelines, his leadership, all those things that he brings to our team will be beneficial, for all of us.
And one last quick thing. I heard is Anthony possibly cleared this week, or where's that stand? I thought
Yeah,
I
he's
heard
cleared
something
from
about
the eye standpoint, but we're just starting to work him back in the physical activity of everything. So,
that.
the
Okay,
determination for him to return, we'll be working through that.
gotcha.
Cap.
Yeah, Shane, I assume you had a chance to talk with, if not meet with, Philip today. How did he come out of the game? I mean, he wasn't out there, mowing the grass. He was playing a big boy game.
Yeah, he feels good. He's in today. He's in the quarterback room right now watching tape. He said he felt good. He's like, I got my normal bruises that I had when I played, but he said I feel pretty darn good. So that was good for him to come out of the game clean. And then obviously he's excited, for the challenge coming up this week.
And also, you mentioned it last night and again today, and even Philip did. This isn't about him. This is about winning games. I mean, don't you have to kind of get by the idea that this is really a good story, and you guys are in it for the fight of your life over these last three games.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he said it to you guys, like you said. It's obviously it is a story, and he knows that. But I mean, it's about the team, and he's here to help us win football games. Otherwise, he wouldn't be here. And he's gonna fight like crazy, just like he always has his whole career to help win. 1 week at a time is his mindset, and that's what he's looking forward to of the challenge each and every week of preparing to get ready to go out and compete and try to win a football game.
One last, and then I'll shut up. Any update on Bernie's elbow?
I don't. We'll see how the week goes. Obviously, he's dealing with that elbow. He's tough as nails. I love Bernie. So we'll see how the week goes and we'll go from there, chap.
Thank you.
James.
Shane, when you look at the way Philip played, obviously you're facing a great defense. So how much of it do you think is perhaps some of the physical limitations he might have at 44 versus playing, like I said, one of the top defenses in the league? 'Cause I think a lot of the criticism is, okay, well, you didn't push the ball down the field, you didn't air it out, you didn't do this, but they didn't allow a touchdown for 2 weeks.
Yeah, I think James. Obviously, I talked about a little bit earlier, but going into that game plan, that was the game plan. We wanted to run the ball, control the clock, take easy completions, and I thought we did a pretty good job of that. And our defense was phenomenal. They played awesome. Obviously, they didn't score a touchdown, and to kick that field goal there at the end to have a chance to win it. I thought it was, like a hard fought game. I thought our guys played their tail off and just at the end, it wasn't enough. And, we got to find a way to do that. And I thought, Philip did a hell of a job of managing that game plan. You know what I mean? That was the plan going into it. And I thought he did a hell of a job, obviously on the road in a hostile environment, first one back in a long time. He did what was necessary, to put us in position to win that game.
One quick follow-up on AR. I know you mentioned that you're working through his determination. When you say that, are you talking about the IR designation, just whether or not to open the practice window, stuff like that?
Yeah. He just got back into physical activity. So we'll see how that goes.
And what does that mean? Like physical activity? Like what is he doing?
You got to get back into it. Getting out on, if we put him out back to practice and working out in the weight room and running and doing all those things and throwing, is what he's starting to do now.
Greg.
Hey Shane, I got a few. Is there any chance Richardson is activated Sunday for Monday?
For Monday, those conversations will be had. But like I said, he just got back into the physical activity of things, running around and doing those things.
Okay. I hear what you're saying about Phillip didn't do anything. He gave you a chance to win. What he did? I mean, he didn't lose it for you. Your defense and kicking game gave you a chance to win. How it doesn't seem logical to count on those two phases being that good and then hoping Phillip can do more than what he did Sunday?
Yeah, I think each game plan will be different, and that was the game plan going into it for that game, Greg. So obviously we're going, this week's a new challenge, new opportunity for us, and obviously the game plan, will switch on how we have to try and win this football game.
And then one more thing. So does he have more? Does he have more to give than what he showed in the second half, especially when the defense started keying on what he wasn't doing? Can he do more than just throw the ball a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. I think all those things, that was his first one back in a long time. And, he'll be ready to go this week with the new plan that we have in place.
Thank you.
Joel.
Shane, for those who wonder, what's different with Anthony coming back off of a long layoff versus Philip Rivers coming back off of a long layoff, what is the difference there?
Well, I think obviously he's coming back off an injury, and Philip obviously was not injured, but obviously was on a layoff. That was the difference right there. Simple as that.
Just a couple more. Kevin.
So Shane, with AR, you're not planning to start his practice window on Thursday?
Yeah, those are conversations that will be had with Chris and the staff.
Okay, and then just do you feel like there's more verticality to come with Philip in the offense?
Yeah, absolutely. For sure. I think that was, like I said, I'll say it again. That was the game plan going into that game plan against that defense. And obviously the game plan this week will be different.
And we'll go with Nathan. Last question.
Shane, I know there may be some folks out there that would love to see Riley get a chance more than, just the spot coming in to fill in for Daniel in Jacksonville. What you've touched on it a little bit already, but what gives you the confidence or has made the decision in your mind or the team's mind to continue to push forward with Phillip? Is it just buying into one quarterback for this push so what you're planning around versus looking at it every single game individually, or what has made that decision for you in your mind?
Yeah, I think that's part of it. Obviously, we want to see how Phillip did on Sunday, and I thought he did some really good things. And to bring in a guy of his age and where he's at in his career, we didn't bring him in here to sit on the bench. I'll say that. He's excited for this challenge. We obviously got to take it 1 week at a time, and then we go from there.